Hey guys, so Speechless here, bringing you a 35-3 gameplay on Solar. I hope y'all enjoy this video. I was just messing around with one of my friends and just happened to go on a beast kill streak. And then I messed up and, well, you'll see later in the video. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about one of my worst experiences as pretty much being a server. And I mean, this doesn't happen all the time, but this was definitely a memorable experience. So anyway, this was like a Saturday night, and I was having so far a pretty good day, and my managers had told me they were gonna have me take care of a 10 people party, and so pretty much they would take up 2 of my tables, and that would leave me pretty much with like 2 booths. So I had 2 tables and 2 booths, and pretty much each table and each booth could sit up anywhere to like 4 to 5 people. So I have to take care of this 10 top and then my 2 other booths between 3 to 5 people, depending on who sat there. But the point being, I had this 10 top, and this was probably one of the worst 10 tops I had ever taken care of, because first, when they came here, they had, I think, like 6 people at the table, so not everybody was there yet, and they said they, you know, the other people were on their way and they were coming, so I was like, okay, cool, no worries. So I just got them drinks and asked them if they wanted me to get them any appetizers, and they told me no, and they were just gonna wait for the rest of their party to arrive, which was no big deal. So I just went ahead and took care of them, and then I took care of any other tables that were sitting at my other booths. So as the night went on, I think it was like 30 minutes to an hour, they're still waiting for the rest of the party, and the mom calls me over and says they were expecting more people, and they were wondering if they could take another table or if they can use either of my booths. And so I went to go ask my managers if it was okay, and they were thinking about moving them somewhere else, but I pretty much had to tell them that we couldn't hold the tables, because in reality I needed tables. I wanted to make money that night. Usually on a Saturday night, if I'm lucky, I'll make anywhere from like $200 to $300, but that didn't really happen this night, and this is where it starts getting interesting. So, you know, after sitting there for an hour or so, they finally decide to order some appetizers, and these people, I mean, it was a mom and her kid, and I guess it was her daughter's birthday, so her friends were there, and like I think like 2 of her other daughters, so it was, I don't know, it was a really long night. But yeah, so an hour went by, and you know, they were munching on the appetizers. People kept getting up from the table, leaving, coming back, leaving, coming back, and then finally like 5 more people arrive, and they like squeeze in at these 2 tables. And then they also told me that they still had more people coming, and the managers let them have another table that was sitting next to mine. So at the end of this, when most of the people were here, it was about almost 20 people, and I learned in the middle of the bill that, or should I say in the middle of taking care of them, that I was asking how the checks were going to be split, or if they were all going to be in one ticket, and she's like, the mom told me she was pretty much going to take care of her family, which was her and like 4 other people, and then all the others were going to, you know, pay for themselves. And that's like pretty much when my heart dropped, because these were like 15-year-olds and they were all dropped off by their parents, and I already knew this was going to be a bad night. So the night went on, all these kids were being really snappy at me, asking where their food was, how long it was going to take, sucking down their drinks, so I like was literally running back and forth to the kitchen. Also, on top of it, I still had 2 other tables I was taking care of, but they were pretty relaxed, so that helped me out a bit. But still, this one table just was running me like a slave, and I just was pretty much sick of it, and my managers could tell, and they kept coming up to me asking me if I was going to walk out and please don't leave. And I told them that At this point, I just really wanted to just do whatever checkout I had and leave and then come back the next day, but you know, that's not what happened. I ended up staying throughout the whole entire party. So as it gets closer to them finishing up eating, I asked them, like, you know, obviously it was going to be split checks, and I was wondering like who was going to be on whose ticket, and everybody said individual. So this was awesome, and there's a new law that we can't brat parties anymore, so I was pretty much taking a risk, and it's taking a risk, especially with a whole bunch of teenagers. So what ended up happening is I split up everybody's checks, the mom paid for her family, and then all these other teenagers took care of their own. And each ticket was about anywhere from like $10 to $20 each. And so, you know, I picked up their cards, took their cash, paid them all out, and I already embraced myself for the worst, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. So the ticket in total, if nobody had split it up, would have been about $300. And I did a pretty good job. I took really good care of them, and you know, I made sure, you know, all their drinks were constantly refilled, got them anything that they wanted. Pretty much I was their slave. And like I said, they did run me like a dog. So, you know, for a $300 tab, I would expect at least, you know, a $60 tip total. But that was not the case. One by one, I picked up the checks, and I noticed nobody left me any cash as far as like the people that paid in cash. No cash. So I was pretty much losing money, and on top of that, the people that paid with credit cards, they didn't leave me anything as well. The mom was the only one that tipped me 20% off of a $80 tab, so which was $16. So when I closed out everything, I literally made $16 off this $300 tab. And, you know, these kids were making me run around and were being really snappy with me, giving me attitude, and I was just trying to be on my best behavior and took care of them as best as I could. But as a server, you make $2.13 an hour, and this really was like heartbreaking to me because that's money for bills for me, pretty much. So I literally lost like $54 on this whole ticket, but luckily, you know, I did have other tables. But this was by far the worst experience I had ever had, and there's a reason why I don't work Saturday nights at the restaurant I work at anymore. It's mainly because of this reason. I have taken care of several other parties, big parties similar to this one, and literally their tab was $300 and they would leave me nothing. And so like I pretty much paid for their meals. I paid for them to sit there and eat the food that I was serving them. So it's a pretty crappy feeling, but other than that, I just wanted to share that experience with you all. If you guys had any similar experiences, if y'all are waiters or waitresses, go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know what happened. I'd really like to know, and I'd really like to hear your stories as well. Other than that, if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure you remember to leave a like and subscribe if you're new to my channel. Other than that, I hope y'all are having an amazing day, and thank you for watching. Bye, guys.